to host you for the next maybe 20 or 30 minutes for a office hour. So what are the office hours that I'm holding every week? It's this little window on our activities and our basically open question arena where we can discuss. So the way it works, it's very easy. If you are vocal, you can put your comments below and we will read it. I would actually have this in my console here and I can see you commenting. If there is some inspiring conversation that you think, afterwards, when you get this replay, you can comment or send us a message. This is, I think, your preferred version because this is what we receive from week to week. Something that we wanted to kick things off for the people who don't know Allegory Capital, we're an investment firm where we support regulated industry through tech. We have 3 venture lines. One is in digital health, the other one is in fintech, and the other one is in climate tech that we just started recently. One of the activity that took us more activities recently is the SPV service model or the operating model. For some reason, this is also something that has been popping a lot in the last conversation we had with many LPs and many funds who wanted to invest directly and using our craft to connect the dots. So I wanted to come back on this to explain the offering we have, and if some of you were hesitating or were willing to basically understand what is the VC as a service model, this is one. So again, this is for people who want to invest directly for their own reasons because they have to build their own portfolio, but they don't have the expertise in fintech, digital health, or climate tech. When it means expertise, it's scouting, it's due diligences, understanding also the business models in those therapeutic areas, for example, if it comes to digital health. And that will give you basically the best happy medium. So you're still the one entering the cap table, and we will not take a carry. In this case, we will take a management fee. So we will rent this a little bit differently than operating you as an LP. We will basically operating this by doing a setup cost of the ecosystem. And we will basically get a management fee year to year to handle the portfolio. Please note something. This is not for small teams or business angels that are basically putting 20, 50K, or the minimum fees to invest for us is 5 billion Swiss francs or $5 billion. And once you have that, we can basically sustain the team that is behind. Okay. So the also options and the extra that we can do, we can brand your vehicle the way you like. You can call it whatever ventures if you want. You can call it, as a joint party between the hospital and insurance, for example, that wants to partner. You can create a new company out of this, right? So that is going to focus purely on, for example, digital health. And this is, I think, the beauty of that operating model is that you can partner with others and de-risk your investment. While entering a new portfolio, you can invite others to share the risk with you. And potentially we will even de-risk it with our own activities and own thesis. So this is something that I will believe is purely for companies who are exploring new grounds. It could be new countries as well. So new industries, new countries. In this part of the new country exploration, like if you say, I want to open an SPV in New York and I want to explore the New York-based ecosystem or the Boston-based ecosystem. So we can basically create a geographic SPV just for a certain region. The idea is that we will build it in the currency of the place where the investors will be. And that will also enable us to put an SPV where the startup will be. So imagine that you have a startup in, in London, and you want an SPV in pounds, and so that the money will come to the startup in the fiat currency locally. And on the other hand, you have the SPV in dollar for the investors to basically be in their currency and in their own legal, ground in a way. So that is where we can do that, and we can basically link the performance of a startup, like the share price, round to round, either directly because of the company. If this is in Switzerland, we can actually tokenize it, and we can actually transport those securities from one jurisdiction to the other. If there is no possibility to tokenize or build the security out of the share of the startup, then basically we need to create a system for making you enter the cap table locally. So we can represent that through a contract, but usually this operating model means people want to enter directly in the cap table. But this is something we can definitely help managing if this is something that you are interested in. The contract is normally for a minimum of 3 years, which means the total asset under management will be minimum of 5 million. You can decide to build this 5 million over time. That is okay, but the bubble needs to be reaching 5 million, if that makes sense. And the setup fee for doing this is 150K. That will include our fees, but also everything that is connected to the legal aspect to make it compliant in the local jurisdiction that you want. It can go fast. We have a financial partner that can actually make this super fast. So it will require between like maximum 10 working days to do this. And 2% management fees. So this is basically what we are requesting. So if this is something that is of interest, please do contact us, and I will be happy to show you more with my team. So on the other topic of today, let me present you quickly one of our startups that is starting to make some wave in the fintech area. I was asked to by many of you to give back an explanation of why and where did we decided to enter the fintech area with Unblock. So in this case, this is a Panamanian company that we identified that we wanted to bring to the US and to Switzerland as a fintech player. Fairly senior team, to be honest. It was not like a company that went into the garage, and we have now identified this company in 2022, just the end of 2021, when the proof of concept was validated. And the company was incorporated with a seed round on around 1.3 million. And we basically now accelerated the company to be at a seed to Series A stage for now, a post-money valuation of 73 million. This valuation has been checked by two companies. One is BDO, the other one is Mazar. And we wanted to be sure, because it was also our first time in the fintech space, that those numbers that went a bit crazy in terms of the valuation were actually solid. So we are still raising for this Series A. So this is something that rings a bell for your portfolio. Just shoot us a contact. I'm not going to go in detail at the first state analysis, but there is a lot of going on in terms of fintech, and this company specifically is in the world of remittances. So I liked the way the founder pitched this to us the first time. He was selling us a digitalization of the truck that is moving the money in a way. And that I liked very much to know when you take something that is very, very easy to comprehend. You have a big truck, transporting money from one bank to the other. And this team wanted to digitalize this transfer of funds. And they wanted to use crypto to be an underlying pipeline to transport that money to, in fact, like a way to compete with SWIFT, right? So this is one way to look at it. They also have this membership with MasterCard, so they can issue like credit cards. And this is also making a lot of new business model interesting. So imagine you can pay your employees and they have a credit card, and they can literally basically like issue credit cards. So your brands could basically have a credit card that is branded, and you can basically put the employee money on that card and they can use it every day. So I think this is pretty neat. The market opportunity is huge because guess what? The market leaders such as Western Union, a huge player in this space. So we don't have any idea of how big those guys are, but yeah, it's a $6 trillion industry. So you can imagine there is quite some chunk of market share to take there. This solution is regulated in Switzerland, the US, and South America. And in Europe, I think they applied for Spanish European license so lately. And the idea is it's not the destination to become a crypto company. They use crypto to become a fintech or remittance company. If that makes sense. So this is also a physical location in Geneva. You can go to Route de Lausanne, I think 152, and you can actually visit the office, and people can be onboarded physically in that location. So it's not just something online. There is a physical location that goes with it. And then the idea is that because they have this relationship with Visa, MasterCard, they can also cater to complex industry like pharma, nutraceuticals, gambling. I mean, everything that is highly regulated. This team has a license to basically cater for that. And I think this is interesting. This is also why we wanted to get closer to this venture, because it is aligned with our thesis in the regulated industry business. This is regulated highly, as you can imagine. So this company has been capturing the market authorization holding for different parts of the world, and they have chief compliance officer dedicated to each company according to the local law. Right. The partnership, as we mentioned, is MasterCard and Visa, pretty strong player in this field, but also other companies that are pretty interesting to monitor and when you come into fintech, and that helped this company basically build the value proposition. The team, as I said, pretty senior. So from Oscar, who is the founder, who is a former founder of Paguelo Facil in South America, from Jonathan, who is basically a former, I think, Visa, if I'm not mistaken, commercial leader in South America and in the US. And for example, Justin also is the CEO of Paynada in the US. So pretty strong team all over in this space. So as you can see in the slide, so pretty much a B2B2C goal. So there is pretty strong revenue stream coming up from this crypto bridge company. So it's really interesting to see how fast and crazy fintech is compared to other industries. So definitely something that I am interested to pursue and look into as an industry. The company is already signing a 800 million valuation, 800 million processing volume. So it's not nothing, right? It's literally something that can be estimated for the valuation, right? This is how we defended the valuation, is because of those contracts that has been signed after the proof of concept. And the company is raising funding to basically go global with a 7.3 million Series A round, where the company is letting go 10% of the company according to the validated Series A valuation. So if this is something that is resonating with you, and if you were asking yourself, what is our job and how do we basically support companies go from seed to Series A, this is basically some of the work we have done. So I think this is interesting to also cross-fertilize. So I'm learning much from my side when I look at this type of ventures. I can take a lot of learnings to go to climate tech and digital health, to be honest with you, because some of the tactics to grow this type of company are quite similar. And of course, there are differences. But yeah, so definitely if you are a fintech company in the similar space, especially catering to regulated industry, yeah, definitely reach out. We are definitely looking for more of those in our pipeline. And if you need more information about Unblock, and if you are interested to invest, yeah, feel free to reach out as well, and we can arrange that, and we can explain a little bit more what is behind that venture and how you can benefit from it. I hope this was useful as a intro or as a explanation on how we do things and how do we structure, the stories around the investment companies we have in the portfolio. We will continue giving you some real examples of companies we supported, so to raise their profile and to also highlight with real example what is capable to what we're capable to do, and what is the current state of the market when it comes to fintech and investments. As you can see, mostly global companies right now are of interest because we have a lot of demand from the US and Asia for investment, but the companies are in Europe for some reason. So we have good talents in Europe, and I can see a lot of investment coming from outside being injected into Europe. So this is an interesting crossroad, I would say. So without further ado, I don't want to stay too long just talking about that, but this was my 2 points I wanted to share with you today. If this is something you want to comment, please feel free. If you want to have the slides that I just shared, also please comment that in the section below. And without further ado, I will say see you to the next episode in a week or so. So let's continue, be safe, and feel free also to share those replays with your friend if this is something you feel has value, so that they can also ask a question. Remember, these are office hours that we are putting together for answering any question, even the tough one. And if you want us to bring some people specifically in our network, we will. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye.